I'm actually very fortunate to live about 5 hours from Falling Water, which is that world famous structure designed by, it's a residence, a home designed by the 20th century American architect Frank Lloyd Wright. So I've actually visited that house 8 times, and I've done a number of videos on this channel about the house, analyzing it. Um, but I wanted to mention, uh, if you study Frank Lloyd Wright, you can actually find interviews actually on YouTube, like the interview he did with Mike Wallace, and he talks about his notion of God. And I can't remember if he says this in the Wallace interview or if it's another one or if I read this, but the quote sticks with me. There are two of them. So this is definitely in the Wallace interview. He says, I spell God with a capital N for nature, something like that. So he's basically saying, I view God as nature, right? But the quote that really strikes me and impresses me is he says, we exist within the body of God. And this is interesting because the Christian view of God, and even the Judeo-Christian view, the Muslim view, God is visualized or metaphorically thought of as being sort of like an external outside entity separate from us, looking at us, right? Um, Yet if you look at Frank Lloyd Wright's metaphor, saying we exist within the body of God, what he's saying is God is we are like a part of the flesh of God, right? So we don't know what God looks like, this big physical entity, right? But we're an implicit part of that body of God. The same way you could look at our individual cells, right, as being part of our body, right? They're separate, yet they're part of us. And collectively, they make up the structure of our body. So I just want to mention that the metaphor that you use for God to visualize, think about what God is, it has a profound psychological effect on you and your worldview, right? Your view of the universe. Um, and this is, Wright's perspective on this is totally different than I think, the typical person visualizes God and thinks about God. And as a result, I think it can really change how you think about the essence of God and how it can even affect you on a daily basis. So if anyone has any thoughts or reactions to what I just said, I'd love to see them in the comments section. Thanks.